So, the Jake Gyllenhaal Conor McGregor Roadhouse remake is finally here, and several people are very angry. So much so that the director of this very film boycotted its premiere, and the writer of the original film is suing Amazon. But before I jump into the controversy in my review, let me explain what the movie is. Roadhouse is a remake of the cult classic 1989 Patrick Swayze movie, Roadhouse, of course. Jake Gyllenhaal plays a former UFC fighter who gets a job as a bouncer at a bar in the Florida Keys. He beats people up until the movie is over and fights Conor McGregor. Controversy time. If you just want to hear the review, skip to here. Let's break down why some people are mad about this movie. The writer of the original Arlance Hill is mad because he says Amazon screwed him out of royalties he should be getting for the remake, and is also repeating the claim that Amazon used AI to replicate actors' voices for dubbing in post-production during the actors' strike. Nearly every movie has dubbing done in post-production, where actors will record lines in a sound booth because for whatever reason they didn't come out right when they were filming it, or they realized they needed a character off-screen to say a line during a scene to make things make more sense. During the actors' strike, they would not have been able to record this. So, several sources are claiming that Amazon used AI to get the movie finished so they could get it out sooner, and even fired producer Joel Silver because he was speaking out about this. Now, I don't know if this is true or not. It seems like it could be true. The part where people are saying they fired Joel Silver because of this seems unlikely to me because he's notorious for being an asshole. I'm sure if he did speak out about the AI, it didn't help. He seemed like a PR disaster waiting to happen. Amazon denies all of these claims, of course. Now, Doug Liman, the director of the remake, is mad and boycotted the premiere of his own movie because he claims he was promised a theatrical release when he was developing the movie for MGM Studios, which was recently purchased by Amazon. He wrote a think piece saying Amazon is violating the agreement and large studios are destroying the film industry by not releasing tentpole movies like this in theaters. And yeah, it sucks that Amazon lied to him, but it seems highly likely to me that this movie would have flopped in theaters. And while Amazon was being a dick, they did make what seems like a sound business decision to me. And this movie really does feel like a straight-to-streaming movie anyways. Minus the big stars and some flashy camera work and good action scenes, there's like dozens of movies like this just all over streaming. Just super generic action movies. Okay, enough about the controversy. How's the movie itself? It's pretty bad. Aside from some fun action scenes and Conor McGregor's performance and character, which I'll get into later, I would describe this movie first and foremost as bland. It lacks a strong personality or vision. The writers were clearly embarrassed by the material, as they have characters lampshade the Western tropes, and instead of playing the extremely dumb plot straightforward like the original, everyone in the movie is doing a stand-up routine, from Jake Gyllenhaal to some of the random goons. The dialogue in this movie is absolutely terrible and full of, well, that just happened moments. The lack of sincerity comes through the worst with Jake Gyllenhaal's character, who is one of the most annoying protagonists I have seen in a film in a while. His whole thing is that he's super polite while being a sarcastic asshole at the same time, and he showcases his medical knowledge constantly. Like, he'll beat a guy up and then be like, you have a broken arm, it should heal in this amount of time. Be sure to do whatever, like he's a doctor or something. There's a scene where he drives a bunch of goons to the hospital after beating him up, because that's just how polite he is. None of his jokes are funny, it's incredibly irritating. He's bad at his job, and a terrible friend. At one point, he's just sitting there while the other guys who work at the bar are just getting their ass beat by Conor McGregor. And he has a tragic backstory that's stupid. All the other performances are terrible. Everyone seems like they're trying not to laugh as they're reading their lines. Like they're doing the awkward smiling thing. And Jake Gyllenhaal, I think, is generally a good actor. And I'm sure everyone else in the movie has good work too. But so it has to be something with the director, Doug Liman. I have a feeling it comes from him being mostly interested in directing the action scenes and not really caring about anything else. I do think that Billy Magnuson did an alright job as the preppy, impotent villain. Like I was saying earlier, Conor McGregor is amazing in this movie. He's not actually giving a good performance, you know, from a technical standpoint, but as an over-the-top, silly movie villain, he's great. He's just a complete psychopath. He just loves fighting and punching stuff. He's the only character in the movie that has funny jokes around him. He gives very hard Trevor from GTA vibes, where he's just a violent psychopath. He was absolutely the best part of the movie. Like I was saying earlier, the action scenes are pretty good. They're really well choreographed. I'm not the biggest fan of the camera work. For whatever reason, the cameras are constantly just moving like in a circle during every action scene. And this is directed by Doug Liman, who directed the first Jason Bourne film, which invented the shaky cam fight style, basically, that everyone hates. So I guess he's just incapable of having the camera be still for any amount of time. There's some non-fist fight action scenes that are just absolutely terrible special effects wise. Like, there's one scene where Jake Gyllenhaal either gets hit by a car or dodges out of the way of a car. You can't really tell because it's in the corner of the frame, and the way his body reacts physics-wise doesn't make any sense for either of those things to happen. And then the car falls off a bridge and it looks like a fucking JPEG. And there's a similar scene like this towards the end of a boat that just looks fake as hell. Anyway, I did not like the Roadhouse remake. The action scenes were fun, Conor McGregor was great, but the whole rest of the movie is just miserable and annoying to get through. Jake Gyllenhaal's character has a terrible romance. He has a relationship with some local townsfolk, and it's just all so uninteresting and generic, and his character is so annoying, and the comedy is so bad aside from Conor McGregor. If you're really interested in the movie, I guess watch it, but you're gonna be bored when it's not a fight scene. And honestly, if you're interested in the fight scenes, just look up a compilation or fast forward through the movie. Anyway, what's your favorite action movie? Let me know in the comments below, and be sure to like and subscribe for more content. If you like this video, check out my video on another bad action movie, Argyle, although that's a much worse movie than this one.